Hi, I'm Gerald Bentley, and this is Wrestling with Sales by Dealership Rescue. Today, I wanted to go a little bit different slant. I want to talk about a product that I think will help your customers and also help you relate to your customers. And it actually does have a wrestling tie in. Who hasn't seen the Ric Flair commercial pushing Car Shield, talking about how you need the championship warranty? You need to make sure your car styles and profiles while it's working. Well, it's not just the Ric Flair commercials, it's the letters that your customers are bringing into the dealership 4 or 5 times a day asking, hey, does my car still have a warranty? Do I need to do this? This looks real. Here's the problem. That's a small tip of the iceberg. Those are the customers that felt enough of a relationship to you to actually walk into the dealership. Most of them aren't. They're just saying, oh, wow, hey, we really need this warranty. They're buying it. Trust me, these aren't companies ran by morons. If the ads didn't work, if paying the Nature Boy to plug their warranty didn't get them some sales, they wouldn't do it. They're buying from them instead of from you. The relationship, the trust, the bond, the customer loyalty, it's just not there as much anymore. You need to figure out how to keep them in your fold, how to retain your own customers. I have on Wayne Mary. He's the founder of Warranty Tracker, and his app is meant to do just that and give you a chance to reach your customers in a less obvious way that you're marketing to them. Good morning, Wayne.
Good morning from Florida. How are you?
I'm doing great. And hey, I just wanted to lay out a little bit of why I think your product is helpful to dealerships. And that's really the thing that jumped out to me, because every dealership you go into every day, there's customers coming in, really all age groups, with those letters saying, oh, I need to get this warranty. My warranty's expired. Sometimes the people just bought the car 3-4 months ago. They have 80,000 miles of warranty left. And guess what? Car Shield, Endurance, Auto Club, whoever, there's tons of them. They'll still sell them a warranty, and it does them nothing.
Right.
How does your product help alleviate that? And just give a brief understanding of what it does.
Well, let me start by saying that you're absolutely right in your input that you have. These other companies, will sell anything to you, but what are they selling you? What are you actually getting? I'm at ground zero when I'm in my dealerships, and I'm not only just talking to the advisors, I'm talking to the people in the lane, and they basically are so confused when they come out after buying a vehicle. All they want to do is get in the car and drive. I want to drive my new car. I want to show my neighbor this car. I'm so proud that I was a warranty. Look at all that reading. I don't want to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
So what my app does is it allows the consumer to load in the information that tells them on a timely manner, hey, you're getting close to your end of your warranty. You've got 6 more months on your warranty. You've got 3 more months, and we count it down. So what the consumer gets is peace of mind. They're not going to be fooled by, the fact that, hey, I just got this letter. And I've seen letters actually from manufacturers too. And it confuses the consumer. Confused people never buy anything. And these are times when people are keeping their automobiles a lot longer. They used to keep them 7.2 years, I think it was. It sounds like a payoff time for me. But the bottom line here is, they're keeping them up to 13 years. My car currently is 10 years old, and I have no intentions of replacing it. I love my car, and most people who have their car do love it. But they want that peace of mind that if something should happen, that at least they know that they're covered. The most important element in my app is you can store your actual documents. You can put the manual in there. You can put the warranty in there. You have everything in your hand. You have roadside assistance, and everything is hyperlinked. So it makes it easy when you're standing in front of an advisor and they're basically saying you owe this much. You say, well, now listen, I had this work order done. Here it is. Can I email it to you? Because we have that available in the app as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the actual warranty. So if the advisor, if they've bought another, type of warranty outside of the brand, at least they can also call them and confirm payment, because that's what the advisors, want to do. They just want to be paid for their services.
Sure.
So that's what my app does.
Well, and it also kind of streamlines the process. Now, from a dealership perspective, I know it's super important because you want to sell here. No big mystery. I mean, some of the biggest dealership groups in the country, they tell their employees, hey, we're an insurance company. We sell the vehicles as the vehicle to our insurance product. Their warranties, their reinsurance, that's the real product. So they want those things to be sold. They want them used. Now, from the dealership's perspective, are they able to work with you to make sure that their customers' information is just put into the app?
Yeah, that's a good point. Being at ground zero every day, I get to see, where we call them the stall points. Where's the stall point? Where is this not working? What confuses people? People are busy today. Let's face it. Just as much as they wanted to get out of that showroom, they want to get out of that service center. So what we have instilled in our software is we allow any salesperson, F&I, used, new, and the service advisors, we have a login for them that allows them to help the customer load things in. Most important thing you need to put in there is the documentation that you received, because that is a final proof right there. So we allow and we pay a spiff, bird dog, whatever you guys want to call it. We pay that to the person who helps the customer with setting it up. And that goes very, very smooth. Hey, I just need, they have their email. We have your email, put in your password you want, and I'll take care of the rest. And I'll show you how easy it is to load. So that's how we address that issue.
Good, because I mean, is a big part of the problem, right? People have stuff they don't know. I mean, how many people in dealerships have had a customer call up asking for the roadside number? There's only one. It's the number for the brand you sell, but usually it's like a game of last man standing. How many phone call transfers does it take before they get the right roadside assistance number? And that's something super easy. So if at a dealership, something that easy is falling through the cracks, which I've seen happen over and over again, now that you get into something harder, maybe it's tire and wheel, maybe you sell a different gap insurance than you sell a warranty. Maybe you have multiple warranties. You have a dealership reinsured warranty. You have the manufacturer warranty. You're not sure what covers what. The service advisors are doing 100 tickets, so they're bouncing around. There is a value to making sure that every car you sell, you can actually just go and check and see what somebody has, because service is all communication. The advisors are in the frontline position. They only have a few minutes to communicate what they want to the customer, because they may have 100 tickets in a day. So they're having to roll. And while they're rolling, if they're having to search for details, that's where you lose the customer. And how often does that customer say what you said earlier? Hey, I'm confused. They've been there now for an hour. They thought it was going to be a 30-minute oil change. The service advisor comes up and says, oh, hey, you need this and this and this done. And the customer goes, well, no, I'm not doing that. They don't even get a chance to upsell the person, because they're already so frazzled, and all they want to do is leave.
Right.
And in service, you're selling time. You can't get back time. So that's definitely a huge asset. Now, with your product to the customer, it's no charge.
That's correct.
You work with dealers.
Yes, it's 100% free to the consumer, and the reason for that is because I've been in the lanes and I've seen people, they don't know if they've fallen out of warranty. I had one lady specifically came in with a high-end automobile. She had gone over her warranty, it expired. And she was so mad that, of all the phone calls she gets, she doesn't know if it's, those other auto warranty people or not. And she said, You mean to tell me I got to pay 6,000 and some odd dollars because I fell out of warranty? Why didn't you guys call me? Why didn't someone say something? Well, see, the app calls you, calls the customer and tells them. She went down the street and bought another brand, high-end brand, came back, got the sales manager, gave him the keys. She said, put a price on my car for me, get the check ready. And she left. And she said, I'll never come back. So, that's how people are today. If I bought a high-end automobile, I would like someone to call me. And that's one of the advantages, Gerald, of the app. What we can do is we're tracking with our patented process. We're able to track the mileage of the vehicle with no GPS. That's how we got the patent. And what it does is it allows the service center to send out an email and say, hey, Gerald, we see that you're approaching your end of warranty with us. Here's a $99, 120 point inspection available to you. Come on in and let's make sure that everything's shipshape and covered under the warranty, so you can have peace of mind when you leave here. And it's a great way to get people in there. And as another note, it's very helpful because we share that lead with the salespeople, because right now low mileage cars and good quality cars are what the dealerships are looking for.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've seen multiple dealerships that have less than 10% of their normal inventory at this time. And one thing that it sounds like it does is it kind of breaks up the silos. I did a podcast talking about sales being a tag team match. The salesperson and the manager, they have to tag team. They got to work together. But for a dealership overall to be healthy, there's so many podcasts out there for sales. The reality is, though, the healthiest dealerships, the ones that do the best, they're profitable day one because of service. Service is super important. So if you can do something where maybe it becomes a 6-man tag team match, sales, service, finance working together. It can even be an 8-man, sales, service, parts, finance, all working together. Get those silos broken down. That's where you can really do a great job and pull everyone together. And you guys can send a message out through your app, right, each month to customers?
Yeah, we do two things that we like to do. My girlfriend gets these. I won't use the name. She gets a flash sale from a candle company. Oh my gosh! We have to pull over. I'm like, pull over for a candle? But what happens is people are so they get so excited when they get our emails because we're going to give them a helpful hint. Number one, no sale. Here's a helpful hint. Want to save money on gas? Go to the big, the big warehouse places. You can save considerably amount of money there. The other thing we do is we put an exclusive offer in there that can be tracked by the dealership. They might have an abundance of, I'm just going to use, it might be cabin filters. Mm-hmm. So they can offer that. They can tune that and then also track that because we have the promo code available within the app too. So, that's every month, we touch base with them. I don't think you're going to pull over because you get that email, but you're looking forward to, hey, a helpful hint. This is a great idea. And we like to just, rather than push product or push a service or whatever, we like to give helpful hints to the consumer also in those emails.
Well, and the single biggest product you can push right now, considering that here, current survey by Google, who obviously now is the number one marketer of auto vehicles, automotive services, because it's all online. They found out that brand loyalty is lower than it's ever been. It's down to 50%. So if brand loyalty is at 50%, dealership loyalty is probably at like 10, 15%. So anything that produces the body, real old school talk, right? That used to be the tagline for anybody when internet sales started. Hey, your job is to produce the body, get the person here. That's more true than ever because generally speaking, leads follow inventory. Well, there's no inventory, so your lead count's going to be down. So now you have to get creative. You have to figure out a way how to put people in the seats and service. How do you get that drive going? And then when you get the people in, that's where finance can get involved, and they can upsell a warranty. They can sell prepaid maintenance. They can sell tire and wheel. And you may well get, as opposed to going to the auction and paying $5,000 more than a car stickered for 2 years ago, maybe you get a trade-in, and then you keep the customer. And now you've not only built retention and service, you're also increasing your market share because you're keeping the person from going somewhere else. And that's what I really think is impressive. It's a good idea because you're bringing people in. Because I mean, heck, you got to compete against Ric Flair and Ice Cube.
You bring up a good point about bringing people in. What I've noticed in the last 3 years specifically is when COVID hit, there was a communication like someone turned off the light, and everyone was in a stun mode. Okay. Well, people aren't going to do this and they're not going to do that. I'm sitting and waiting. I don't know if I'm going to get laid off. I don't know if I'm going to start working from home. There's talk, and there was all this confusion.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a post recently on LinkedIn, and I showed a bunch of people standing around with question marks in front of their face. And the reference was to, have you heard from your old customers? Why not reconnect with them? Why not find out what they're doing? Are they working? Are they working from home and not putting miles on that car? My app will tell you that. The other thing is, are you looking to trade that, Sunday driver? That special sports car that you only drive on Sunday. If it's raining, I'm not driving it. So, it also says an opportunity to buy the cherries, as we call them. So the app basically, allows them to reconnect with customer, because I worked in a dealership where they had, one guy was there 41 years, if you can believe it. I guess he started when he was 10 or something. But the bottom line was people knew him. They knew him. I shop in a grocery store and go through a certain cashier every time. If she's there, I just turn around and leave the groceries. No, I'm just kidding. But I have a tendency to, we go to where we get good service. And obviously, how many times did I hear about that salesman and someone will say, I bought 4 cars from him. My daughter bought a car from him. Sure. He's the greatest. He took care of a problem that I had. Well, that's what this app does. It gives that communication back to them because they can put something in there. Hey, come on in. Next time you're in service, stop by and see. Like to talk to you again. That's all. Just open the door again. Just get the line of communication working for you.
Because people buy from people, right? I mean, it's the same thing. And here, just to make another forced wrestling analogy, can you get yourself over? And the people who become champions because people like them, or people like to hate them. Now, obviously, at a dealership, you don't want them to like to hate you, but there are salespeople everywhere, every dealership in the country, and there's usually a service advisor who laps the field at that dealership. They sell the most cars. They do the most tickets. They have the most feedbacks. Are they necessarily anything all that special? No, but they figured out how to connect with somebody, to be a person, and that customer that they talk to maybe once in 4 years, they feel like they know them, him or her. They know them. They want to work with them. Any technology that you get that can increase your touch points and make people feel like, wow, oh my God, hey, Wayne's reaching out to me. Oh, that's terrific. It does work. It really does. If you just sit back and do nothing and wait for people to come in, they'll go to the person who just talked to them. They'll find somebody else because they don't think you remember them. So if they feel like you remember them, like you care, you've already almost won, because they're going to go somewhere. It may as well be with you. And
Absolutely.
That's what I like about it. I think it's a really good idea. And you're in with some dealership groups already, right?
Yeah, I'm into, I guess, the number 2 largest with my so much there. And it's so helpful because while I'm there, I'm picking up, direction. Some of the ideas that come out, it's like you got to jump in it, to learn. And I had spoke with a customer yesterday. We have these small little models that we put our business cards in, and they're around the advisors as well as at porters' desks. And ironically, the gentleman said he looked at the truck and he looked over at his truck and he said, well, this is my truck here. I said, really? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, here, you can have this one. I said, I own this company. He looked at me and he goes, that's great. I said, you can tell your grandson you're going to give him a truck when he turns 16. So the point, and I want to go back to, a lot of people have retired in the last 2 years. They said, I've had it. School teachers specifically, okay, first responders. But a lot of them have quit. And there's this trend going on right now where they basically are wanting to buy a retirement vehicle. I waited all these years. I'm going to get that Corvette. I'm going to get that Mustang. I'm going to get that whatever has been in their mind. And that's my retirement gift to myself. My wife told me, go ahead, go get it. It's yours. So that's another thing that the app, once it opens up communication, hey, how you doing? Still working at blah, blah, blah place? No, I'm retiring at the end of the year. So you got to open the communication. And today with the internet, and how many times do you see people pick up their phone anymore? What they do is they say, who's calling? Right? So that's not communication. Okay. Especially with the young people, they're buried in that phone. So you have to basically unbury them and get communication because they buy cars too.
Absolutely. And one thing that is happening now is your ability to communicate has really gotten a lot harder. On average, according to NADA, it takes 12 phone call attempts to reach a customer. Just 12. That's to reach them once. And generally speaking, people don't come in until the 5th time you've asked them to come in. So now you're talking like 20 phone calls. Your emails generally go to spam. If you're lucky, they go to updates. So the easy ways to reach people aren't there anymore. In text messages, you have to get somebody to opt in. So they already had to be talking to you. So that's your struggle. Your struggle is to get somebody to talk to you, to engage. And then once they're engaged, then that's when you really need to try selling, because you're only going to get 1 or 2 shots. Right. It's not like it used to be. If you're going to a dealership and your plan is, I'm going to open up and just make 350 phone calls to orphan owners, you already failed. You're done. You already lost.
Good luck.
1, 2, 3, you're pinned, you're out. It doesn't work. Right. Because you're going to get so discouraged by the time you've made your 100th call and left your 80th voicemail saying, hi, I'm Gerald. I'm calling up from the dealership. I wanted to let you know about a great opportunity that we have. You're fried. And
stop calling me.
Yeah.
Stop calling me.
You actually do get to somebody, they're just going to hang up on you anyways, because you're going to be stammering and stumbling. So, creative ways to reach people are going to be, I think, the new hot trend in car sales and service, because direct mail doesn't work. The newspapers are dead. Internet ads are flooded. And hell, you're competing against Ric Flair, Ice Cube, and Ice-T. They're going to win.
My father mutes those all the time. He gets fed up. They're on there repetitively during the day. So I want to go back to an important factor. The key here is the consumer with the free app has everything in their hand. So there's no, we have people who would call up and say, am I covered under warranty for an engine cover? No. What they're just trying to, it's evident because people are starting to put their groceries on credit cards. So people are tightening their belt quite a bit. So if a car needs repair, they're going to look for everything. The gentleman with the black truck, he said, I'm already out of warranty. Then he looked at me and said, what's the warranty on a Ford? And I said, 336. I said, what's the problem? He said, transmission. I said, what are you at? He said, 54. And I said, it's 560 for that. You're covered under that. Well, he was happy with the black truck I gave him and the news, and he scheduled an appointment. So, I like this because, we talked about having the hyperlinks for Ford has a system called Ford Pass. 13 other manufacturers also have it. It's just an app that basically can unlock your doors, lock your doors, tell you if your vehicle's in changing location and all that. I've seen it come in very, very handy. But usually what people are doing when they've got a situation where they've locked the keys in the car or they've locked their dog in the car and they're like this on their phone. I know it's in here somewhere. No, where is this thing? And you see, that's also in the app as well. They put in what they want. You can also put other warranties in there as well. You can put your appliances in there, put your electronics in there. I had to buy a fridge the other day. Boy, I put that warranty in there. Fridges aren't $200 anymore. So the bottom line is, it gives that consumer everything they need in their hand. So when they need it, it's right there, night or day.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing cheap anymore, and people are going to be looking for ways to save where they can. And from the dealership's perspective, it costs you nothing. You actually make money. You want people to use their warranties. It's a good thing. And here, one last wrestling analogy as we're kind of winding it down. It's the excellence of execution. Bret the Hitman Hart. If you do every step right, if you're excellent in your execution, you'll win. You'll win. You'll out wrestle sales. You can do it. You can maximize the time, because the reality is most of your competitors won't. Most of your competitors are the cliches, going through the motions, just doing the minimum, just getting by. That's the opportunity. That's where you can strike, where you can win. Because I just put on LinkedIn yesterday, and it's amazing, but it's true. There's a long article that I just made a comment on. Why do you get better customer service at the Starbucks or at the Chick-fil-A than you do at a car dealership? You're spending an average of $50,000 almost at car dealerships right now. If you add sales tax, then you are at $50,000. It's like $47,000 on average. The Starbucks, you're spending what, $5, $6? Chick-fil-A, it's a $10 meal. And I think if you ask people in honesty in car dealerships, hey, who has better customer service, Chick-fil-A or you? They'll say Chick-fil-A. That shouldn't happen. So use some tools to take the pressure off of you, because the reality is you're not going to contact everybody. So if you can find ways to mediate the communication, use media methods to reach people in a way that isn't disruptive, you should do it. Because the reality is, yeah, do you have 12 people working at service? Could they, in theory, call 60 people a day and invite them in? Sure, theoretically they could. Is there a dealership in the country where they do it? No. Is there a dealership in the country in the last 25 years where they did it on a daily basis? No, it doesn't happen. So stop planning to do things based on a hypothetical model that just doesn't work. Right. That's where I think your stuff comes in.
Yeah, you're right. And closing this out, as you said, the one thing that people like is, this initial contact or reconnect, we call it. It's basically, hey, stop in. We have this new free app that'll help you with your warranty. We had a salesman who is one of the best. He's just a big teddy bear. And he had a customer who had come out of the F&I office, and she had bought multiple, I think it was 5 or 6 type of extended warranties. She had no idea how they would come up. So, you can put your different warranties in there. And he said, I sat for an hour with that woman. And he said, and finally, he said, I just showed her the app. And now she has everything in her hand. She got a big smile. We go into Costco. We would have never eaten that frozen thing that was down on the corner there. And now they're sampling it. It's smelling good and tasting good. Having the connection that we have with the salespeople and the advisors is really very important, because, I trusted you with my car. Now you're going to tell me something that's going to help me because in Florida, we live up in Chicago. during the summer, and then we come down here in the winter. So they have multiple areas in there, which brings up another point. You can share all this information, back and forth with people as well as advisors that you have. So back to Bret Hart, Canadian, like me. And I want to say, as they say in Chick-fil-A, pleasure to be on the show today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for being on, Wayne. I really do appreciate it. And people they can find you at warrantytracker.com. They can also search for your app in the Apple App Store, right? And
Yes.
Google Play.
Yes.
Yeah. And by all means, reach out to them, let them know you heard about it on Wrestling with Sales by Dealership Rescue. Wayne, we'll look forward to talking to you again. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. And
thanks for.
Sorry there.
Thanks very much.
Absolutely. And we'll keep in touch here. And until then, you can definitely follow at Wrestling with Sales on Apple Podcast, dealershiprescue.net, online, and all the social medias. We'll look forward to seeing you again. Get into that sales ring. Thanks.